Yeah, so business model of Zimbar is into home services, and we are a full stack player. So we have a we when we started the business, we thought of the idea of home services, and we went for the survey and tried to understand what is the condition of home service industry and the overall market at present. And then we came up with a decent amount of solution that we want to solve the problem through some process. So what we say is that we want to send the right person at the right time. He will do the right things there, and he will charge you the right kind of price. So everything has to be right. We will not say that we will send you the best person, he will charge you the reasonable or the cheapest price, and he will come whenever you want. Not that way, but rather we have to solve the problem. So we'll find out the right person who will go at the right time, which is convenient to both. He will do the right things, may not be the best things, because within your city, within your locality, whatever we can arrange the best will be sent to you, and the price would be accordingly reasonable with the given condition. So that is our motto, and this is the business model on which we operate. Yeah, so me and my co-founder Anubhav, we when we were talking about this idea, so we were discussing that there is a wave of e-commerce which is passing through, and it was going in front of us. And then if we are not doing anything in this particular wave, probably we are missing this opportunity, and we'll have to answer this to our coming generation, that when this wave was happening, what you were doing there. Like, so children will ask, like, Papa, were you sleeping that time, or you are not doing anything important in the industry, why you didn't contribute to this? So this was the overall feel which we had, and after gaining the experience on all these industries for over 12 years, what we realized that by the time we were on that age, around 2 years back, we had the options to buy things online, we had the options to sell things online, but there was no option to get the services online. And that was a kicker for us, and that shows that was a gap which we identified that time. And then we thought of launching a platform to solve this kind of problem through the e-commerce way. That was the overall idea. So obviously from all those corporates, I learned a lot of stuff, a lot of things, and now that has helped me to build a business fundamentally which is good, which is sane, and which is really solving the core problem. That helped a lot. Yeah, so the investment is obviously on both the fronts. So it's obviously commercial investment is required, but the time and energy we invested is also significant in this. So the industry is fragmented. People are coming with a conventional approach, and the customer is also not seeing the services with that importance. So our idea was, like, first we should find out the right people, and out of all these things, right person, right time, and the right thing and the right price, everything cannot be solved in one go. So what we thought, let us pick first two things, that if we can identify the right person and we try to send them on the right time, that itself is a good solution for the time being and in the given condition. So we first went out to the market and tried to understand from the service provider what is their thinking, what is their thought process. Then we also did a survey with the customers, that why they are seeing home services this way and what kind of challenges they face from the home services. And then we realized that there is a gap between both the thinking. So they think that here the customer has some concern, and customer thinks that the service provider has some concern, but actually both on their place were right somewhere. So we became the bridge on that. So we went to the market, understood the concerns of the service provider, and developed a criteria that through this criteria we should be taking these people on board. So we use a criteria to find out the right person, and within that criteria there are some administrative requirements and some delight requirements. So for example, the person has to be a resident in that city. It's a must thing. So any migrant coming from any city cannot be part of Zimbar. So any service provider has to be a resident of that city for minimum 5 years. That is a criteria. So it's an administrative criteria. Now there are some delight criteria as well, like person should have bike. So this is a delight criteria. If he has a bike, their transportation will be much smoother in that case. It will be more convenient for them. But still, it's a delight criteria, not a mandatory thing. If the person is good in that, then probably we might help them for arranging a bike, or we can help them for that, provided they are doing good job. So that is how we have a full list of criteria. We use a 3-stage enrollment process for them, and that is how we take them to Zimbar. Now with the right time, obviously this is a dual process which is to be changed on the behavior part and through the technology as well. So the technology helps in optimizing and setting up a coherence communication mechanism which helps us to save time. So there has to be a real-time communication between the customer demand and the supply side availability, and that is to be managed through the algorithm, and it is managed through the technology. So right kind of person and right kind of time is both managed through the time and technology investment, and that's what we have done. So per se, a home service industry is supposed to be a $5 billion industry in India, and it's just a fraction which all of us together, all organized players in the market together, is like they are not touching even a fraction. So last to last year when we launched, almost 130-150 startups came in to solve this problem, and hardly a couple of them are left now. So the entire dust is settled and only the real players are surviving. But still, we have all of the existing companies put together is only a fraction of the entire home service. Yeah. So when we first interacted with the service providers, we were considered, or we were taken as a contractor. That was the viewpoint of a service provider, because when we go and explain to them that we are generating jobs for them and we will be giving them orders and they will be serving the customers, they always raise the concerns of that in past they have been ripped off by some contractor. Their payments were on hold, and that payments were delayed, and their rates were not reasonable, and their overall the kind of the treatment what they go through is not appropriate. So that was their concern. Now for us it was slightly challenging initially, but then the entire industry was changing. So the existing e-commerce companies like Ola, that helped us a lot, because by the time those people are living in the same community with those drivers, and they are seeing that driver is now participating with the e-commerce company and then growing day by day, the income is growing, and that gives them confidence somewhere that yes, what we are talking is making sense, and why we are saying that this is going to happen. Now as I said earlier, that the entire industry was getting matured. So groceries was going online, the taxi was going online, the product selling and buying was going online, and all these people are aware of all these actions, because when the Flipkarts of the world and the Quickers of the world, they are existing, and the back end of those companies is like the delivery and other those blue collar workforce, and they live in the same community. So when then they see that those people are growing with this industry, with this company, so somewhere their confidence goes up. And we also did something different, that we went to their homes and we talked to their children. What we realized, that the children are studying in good schools and they understand what is an e-commerce. So when we saw that we are not able to influence the service provider directly, we tried to take the help of family and then interacted with them, and through them we tried to convince. So initial 15, 20, 50 guys were a challenge, but when we were proving their worth with good traction, and the kind of treatment we were giving, the kind of training we were giving to them, and the confidence we were imbibing in them, that was giving them pride of working with us, and that went viral. Then after that it was all inbound. Now we see a lot of requests on daily basis, and people, service providers are very keen to join Zimmer. We really have to go out and hunt for service providers now. So we extend a phase-wise training. Obviously the soft skill is part of it. We also train them on lifestyle skills, because when we are increasing their income from say 10,000 to 20,000 rupees a month, so it's like almost double income which is coming as a additional disposable income. Now with that, what they are supposed to do, whether they are supposed to use it for child education, for the development of their family, will do, or they can send it to their village back, or they should save it, or how they should save it, or they can spend it anywhere, because that's a additional disposable income and they are vulnerable to that. So we try to train them on those lifestyle skill as well. Then obviously the technology piece of it, because how we are going to impact their day-to-day life by giving them more jobs, whether we are creating additional jobs or whether we are trying to use their additional unused inventory, that we have to explain to them, and that they have to understand it thoroughly. Otherwise the entire back end, the consumer front end, and the application piece which the service provider is using, so if they are not understanding the entire order flow process, they will probably not appreciate it and will not follow the technology what we are building. So we train them on technology as well, and also the technical skill, whatever they are supposed to do from whatever category they belong to. There has to be a brush up of some theory and some practical on that. So it's a combined training program which everyone has to go through. So as I shared, during their training process, we have a session of lifestyle skills as well, where we impact on this. And so a couple of things, like we have tie up with some drugs and narcotics bodies which are like NGOs, and they are always happy to come and share their ideas in our training program. So we take the help of those forums and we train them. We also try and do some gathering for the families of service provider, for their wives and for their children, and try to interact with them as well, and try to explain them that how their families or their father, like they are doing different things than others, and how it is going to impact their own entire family. We have a couple of reward and recognition systems as well. So whoever is doing good job, we call the service providers as champs. Whoever is doing good job, so they are rated on star champs, 3-star champs, and 5-star champs. Whenever we try to reward them, we try to gift something which is of their family can use it, probably a sari or some other kind of utility article which will be used by the family. For the 5-star champs, we arrange a dinner in some 5-star hotel or restaurant, where their family is picked by cab, and then they come and join dinner with us, and that goes pretty viral, because it's a matter of pride for the entire family, that even if I pay them 5,000-10,000 rupees, they are never going to spend that money on a dinner in a 5-star. But if we invite them there, then that is the experience which they are getting, and their entire family is getting. Now their kids are going to boast about it, the kids will talk about it in their class, in their community, their wives will talk about it, and this talk of the town these days, that Zimmer 5-star champs, they have the opportunity of dinner with the founders. The overall technology piece, which is the back end and the supplier application and the soft skill, we have our internal team. For the special skills which are required for handling that particular piece, we have tied up with a lot of training institutes, and we are sending our people there for that. So it could be a plumbing related training, or a electrician, or a carpentry, or a fitting related training. So there are a lot of initiatives from NSDC, and our team is participating in those forums, and then they are getting trained in those forums. Yeah, so that's an interesting thing, because when we see that a lot of product manufacturing companies are hiring good designers, they're talking to the well-established manufacturing setups, and they're coming up with brilliant ideas and talking to customers and trying to convert the customer dream into the reality, which they are able to do as well. But this last mile of installation, there the experience is broken, because you do a lot of effort in that last 95% value chain, and that last end of 5% is a broken experience, because you don't find the right people there. They are not following good methodologies, and they don't belong to a good brand or a good chain, unless you have your own fleet of people who are trained by you, and you are bearing that cost on your own. So for very few manufacturers and suppliers, this is the case, that they have their own fleet of installation people. Most of the market is fragmented. 98% market is that way, where people are, or the manufacturer or the supplier, they are just sending the material, and then customer is facing problem because the installation is not happening on time, it is not happening the way it was supposed to be. So customer is really unhappy there because of that broken experience. So what we add as a value there, we are taking this installation of furniture as an important thing. Till today we have done more than 5,000 installations for various companies. It is in both ways. It can be for a standalone 100% modular furniture, or it can be a assembly plus installation kind of stuff for a semi-modular. That depends on the company to company and kind of furniture. For example, it can be a table, or it can be a kitchen as well. But the value we add is, we don't take any carpenter for this. So we call it's a blend of fitting plus carpentry, and it's a it's a good mix of that skill. It's more of a fitting job, where the carpenter understands the fitting and a bit of carpentry skill as well, and then bringing in a good discipline into the entire stuff, that people understand the customer pain point, people understand that this furniture has been built by good designers and good manufacturers, and it has to be handled with care. Even a single scratch can spoil it, and if you are not handling it properly, you can spoil the floor of the customer, or maybe the wall of the customer. And during the installation also, if the alignments are not proper, the vertical and horizontal alignments are not proper, the overall functioning can get affected, because all these modular furnitures which are functional in nature, they are using very special hardwares, and that hardware is affecting the overall functionality. But because of the installation, if it is not of that good quality, if the alignments are not good, the functionality will be affected. And finally, customer has to bear that. Customer has to absorb all that, because no one is going to give the discount to the customer who is not getting the right product. So thinking of about all those aspects, whenever we have done the installation, we have always got good amount of appreciation from the customer, and that's what then we thought this is a good business line, where we should increase this business line, we should add more and more people to this, and that's what we are doing these days. Yeah, so we are a multi-category company. We have been providing electrician, plumbing, carpentry, painting and other solutions. So if we break any turnkey into multiple small pieces, we end up in these services only. Now because we are doing everything on our own, and if we combine all that, it becomes turnkey. So we entered with the services, then we started doing turnkey, and within the turnkey we realized that this particular last mile of installation was coming up as a different kind of pain, because designers are making good designs, manufacturer is crafting a good piece, but finally if it is not installed well, customer is not getting that final good experience. So that was the reason this particular area came into focus, but we are into end-to-end solution providing already. The challenges are especially in the kitchen and wardrobe installation. The challenges are that the designer is making the design based on some measurements. Now whatever the measurement is the best, but the site conditions are not matching. There could be some differences in the actual measurement. There could be some minor leftover things, kind of some pipe was passing through, or there is some switchboard which was missed out during the design, and all those becomes a practical challenge for a player like us. Now a regular carpenter or a regular local player, they work more like a manpower. So in that case the resolution of that challenge is passed on to the manufacturer or the distributor. In our case, we try to resolve that on our own in discussion with the designer, and that's how we address that. So basically the overall idea is that the dream of the customer which has ordered that piece of furniture is not just a piece of furniture for the consumer. They have some kind of attachment with that. Now if that message is not communicated properly to that the fitter or the carpenter, then the piece will not be handled with that care. So our role is there, where we train them, where we sensitize them that this is not just a kitchen or a wardrobe, this is a piece which is very, very important for the consumer, and you have to give that kind of treatment to this furniture piece. And that brings the sensitivity. Obviously then enabling them through the right kind of process and right kind of methodology and right kind of tool, and the overall preparation also plays a good role, but mainly is the sensitization towards that. Now this sensitization piece and the processes which we use and the technology which we use, where we are ensuring that all the stakeholders which are linked to that particular installation are communicating on single platform. Because right now what happens that the designer is responding on email and the manufacturer is also responding on email. The last the end fitter or the carpenter, he has some problem, he will communicate through some different method, and the solution comes pretty late, or it's not happening in real time. In our case, we are using a tech platform which is bringing all the stakeholders common in one page, and there is a real-time interaction which is happening, and that helps in shortening the decision making and expediting the overall installation. So competition is good. Competition is in multiple phase. So still there are companies which are not full stack player like us. They are only taking the bookings or the leads, and they are passing on to any service provider, and then service provider is directly interacting with the customer. In our case, we are a different company with a different business model, where we are taking the end responsibility of that service provider as well. So competition is good because the industry is maturing, and the way I shared that hardly a fraction of the industry is in the organized sector. So all competition put together are investing in educating the customer, and as well as same time building the good supplier base, which is good, which is welcoming, because ultimately whoever is doing the business good way is going to be the winner, and this is a pretty large market. So customer will finally select who is good and who is going to survive, but competition is at this stage is helping to grow the industry. Yeah, so this is really interesting because if you see the overall idea wise, this home service looks very easy. So the entry barrier is very, very low. Anyone thinks of that they can probably take couple of electricians, carpenters with them, and then they can launch it, and it's very easy. But the real challenge lies in managing the overall demand, managing the expectation of service provider and the customer. There is the key. Now the way we told, the right kind of person, finding that and then training them and grooming them, and right kind of time you are supposed to cater to that demand, that is challenging. And then developing the technology. So it's not just a conventional shop where you can take the orders on phone and then coordinate with the service provider on phone and then send them. Unless you have technology, it's very difficult to manage couple of thousands of orders in a day, which is mainly responsible for that settlement. So couple of players which were not mature enough, and then they just came to the industry thinking it easy. Within a couple of months they realized that this is going to be painful, so they backed out. Some of them were really serious, and then they realized that okay, they can manage it in a small group, but it's difficult to scale up for them. So those people, they became the back end for our kind of companies, that okay, we will not face the customer directly, we are not good in technology and marketing, but we know that how to manage these 20 people. They came and became our back end. Some of them obviously got into consolidation, and couple of them didn't find it interesting because it's difficult to deal with this blue collar workforce, and it's not that fascinating industry. So some people just wound it up and went back and doing something else. So growth will take time, because if you see any industry where it's a good mix of technology and good amount of operation, the maturity takes time. For that matter, we can take the example of cab industry. Companies have taken 6 to 7 years to get matured. So similar, obviously it should not take 7 years in our case, because we have already learned a lot of things, and the products in the market are maturing day by day. But still we feel, I feel that it is going to take another 2 years to come to that maturity where the consumer is getting tuned to it. Because I remember the earlier days when we were getting the orders on phone calls, and now we are completely on the tech, and in the consumer segment the orders are coming on the platform directly or through the mobile app, and that is the behavior which is changed. So entire home industry is consolidating that way. But yes, it will take slightly longer time. Yes, so we realize that when we are already leveraging the existing brand of Zimbar with the existing customer base, and that same customer is going and working into the big corporates house and offices, so we are trying to tie up with the corporates directly, that how can we pass on the volume advantage to the corporates for the demand what they have, and those kind of tie-ups we are trying to do. Yeah, we are mainly a B2C player, no doubt about it, but any scale which is in the future is going to be a mix of both. So we are trying to identify what are the key pain areas in the B2B segment as well. And because we have a large workforce, we have managed the volumes, we have the technology ready now. So if the same thing we can use in the B2B, and that can solve the problem in B2B as well, because most of the B2B is like what? Ultimately they are serving the end consumer, and we are also doing that. If we do that on behalf of a B2B group, that is solving the same kind of problem and organizing the same industry, because it has to be solved all across. If we are solving it at the one end, probably it will not become habit, and we have to solve it all across. So definitely we are working on B2B area as well. So currently in this B2B we are focusing on the installation pieces, which is mainly the carpentry skills, because we see it's it's a good amount of business around within India as well. I remember that it's a $20 billion business which is all fragmented for the entire supply side. So I'm not linking it with the home service, and only the furniture industry is of that big size. And if you see within that, the modular is even if you take 10% out of that, again it's a $2 billion industry within the modular, and then installation is an important piece. So we are focusing on installation to start with in this, and we have done a good amount of installations for B2B, B2C. We have already done some 5,000 plus installations, and that we have managed good customer experience, and overall managing the mass was the key. So we want to leverage it further and expand this. So the criteria is simple. We should get good returns from the city if we are setting up the office, because we are as I shared that we are a full stack player, where we are setting up a small operations team in that particular city, which is engaging the service providers, enrolling them and training them. So that is an investment for us. So if we get a good sizable amount of business from the city, obviously we will launch. We are discussing this with a couple of companies, and yes, we have plans to launch 2 more cities by this year end. That could be Bangalore or Hyderabad or Ahmedabad to start a city. So it's around 5 lakh rupees to start a city. That's it, the initial, and then there are operational expenses which are there. So future is really bright because consumer is welcoming this initiative. Consumer is day by day, the adoption on the both front is increasing, the consumer side and the service provider side both. So both are adopting the technology, both are welcoming this new way of providing the home service. There are challenges and we all are solving it. Not only Zimbar, all the competitions are also solving it, and everyone is trying different methods, but we are slightly different in the approach. We see a good future. Industry exists. It's just a matter of grabbing or converting it from the unorganized to organized part. So the industry has to adopt it. Yeah. So I see a good conversion. Probably if cab industry has taken 7 years to come to that stage, home service should be taking 4 years to reach to the similar kind of stage. Yeah. So we are here to solve the customer's problem, and our positioning is that we are not just a booking platform. We ensure it's done, and we send you the right person the right time, and he does the right thing, and he will charge you the right price, and that's how we see that the problem will be solved. Initiative from Government of India, and especially it will give confidence to entrepreneurs like us that yes, government is focusing on our problems as well. And so I attended that event and I saw the kind of energy was there in that hall, and the implementations which are happening from the government side, which are pretty faster. So now the initiatives coming on the starting a company and closing down a company, that is all becoming shorter, which is gaining the confidence in all the community that yes, we are as a country, the government is also paying attention to what we are doing, and this is taken seriously that yes, this is going to impact the growth of the country, and whatever we are doing, we also feel pride that we are going to impact and contribute in that growth. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Amit.
Thank you. Yeah.
Pleasure speaking.
Thank you.